Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and this is a very practical video about how to deal with people who are very dominating or controlling in a way. Now dominance is not only showed in the way of being very aggressive or saying nasty things to you, treating you with disrespect, but dominance is also shown sometimes by being very emotionally manipulative about certain things, right? So we are going to talk about such people who want to get things done, मतलब everything should happen the way they want it to happen, या फिर जैसा उन्हें लगता है वैसे ही होना चाहिए. And why these people do this is because they think that उनके जितना अच्छा सबके लिए कोई सोच नहीं सकता. सो द वे दे थिंक अबाउट एवरी थिंग, नो बडी कैन थिंक फ्रॉम दैट पर्टिकुलर परस्पेक्टिव और दैट particular well-being of the whole unit. It can be a boss in an organization, it can be a authority in a family, it can be somebody who is little more dominating and powerful in a relationship dynamic. It can be anybody, but what this person fails to understand is that, and we may all also be in this position of being so dominating and controlling with others, is that what is the idea of well-being for the other person. Okay, so when you're dealing with children when they are very small, they might not have their idea of well-being, right? So you may be able to understand better, but when they cross the teenage, children start feeling like adults. They have not yet developed that understanding of being an adult, but at least they start feeling like they are adults, so they have to be treated in a different way. Now you cannot treat them just like children anymore. So this is a thing that really needs to be kept in mind once we are dealing with adults, especially that now they are developing their sense of well-being. And a person who is in an authority position, whether you are a leader, whether you are a member of a family who takes care of everything, or you're a person who is actually leading the relationship, and it has to do nothing with the gender, nothing with whether you are a man or a woman, because anybody can be taking up the leading role in the relationship, and have to understand what is other people's idea of well-being. And when you're able to make somebody feel that yes, I your well-being matters to me and I understand what well-being is for you. So when we communicate as authority, what we only communicate is that I am saying this for your good, I am saying this for your well-being, but we fail to understand what the priorities of the other person and all of those things. So this is one side of the story, and trust me, this dominant submissive styles, they come into picture only when you as an individual allow somebody else to dominate your life or allow somebody else to control your life, because there are so many reasons to it, but we are majorly going to talk about two reasons. One reason is you have kept the position of authority in your life empty. That means you always feel like a victim. You feel that why does this happen to me all the time? Does this person make me feel like that? Why does that person make me feel like that? And all of those things. Now, I'm not saying that you feeling like a victim is completely wrong. You could be feeling that for so many reasons, and that cannot be just spoken in a video, in a YouTube video. You might want to dig deeper into it. And if you want to discuss something with me and want to step out of that victimhood, you can definitely book a one-on-one live coaching call with me. You will find the link in the description box to take a consultation for life coaching, and we will figure out how you can come out of that victimhood, because victims don't feel just like victim because nobody just wants to be a victim. Everybody wants to be powerful, but why are they stuck into that space? And there are many reasons to it, so they definitely need to be discussed. So the position of authority is something that you have often left empty. Now I see a lot happening this in women, that first their fathers were the authority or the parents were the authority, and once they are married, now their husbands or in-laws have become the authority. So never in that transition have they really taken charge of their life. Now we say that women are earning for themselves, they're financially independent and all of that, and now what's the problem? The problem is, even if you are financially independent and all of those things, there could be some other things that you are trading off. For example, the thing to fit into the society. So if you want to be admired by your family members, or if you want to be admired in the society, you have to act according to the norms of the society, or work for the approval of the society, where sometimes you might also have to sacrifice on your certain values, and that creates a lot of victimhood inside of you. So first thing to really keep in mind is that I'm not going to compromise on my personal values. So your personal values can be fairness. Now, no matter what happens, in my mind, I can never really, put down a person based on their caste, religion, creed, whatever. मेरे आसपास के लोग कितना कुछ भी कर रहे हो बातें, I can never take that. I can never, I can never be in that position to put down somebody on the basis of amount of money that they earn. This is not my personal value, and I will never be a part of a conversation which is happening on this basis. So that is how I maintain my internal authority. This was just an example. So, like that, you have your own personal set of values due to which you start developing a backbone for yourself. Like your body is standing on a backbone, right? So, when this backbone is very blurry, when you have just stepped into your adulthood, you might want to just conform to the norms of what is happening to you. For example, if you're in college and you personally think that I don't want to consume alcohol, I don't want to consume maybe smoke and do all of that, but somebody just starts shaming you for not doing that, because everybody, the peer group outside of you, thinks that this is the cool thing to do, and you might end up doing that just to fit into that whole situation. Because now what you're trading for your personal values, what you're trading for your freedom to make your own choices, is the greed to actually fit into that particular situation, right? So yahan se, from the need, from the greed, you identify your need. Your need is to belong. Now what do? You found your personal values, you found your need to belong, you go and find people with whom your values majorly match. There are also people in colleges who are really cool, but they don't consume alcohol or smoke, right? So you can find such people and be with them, so that both the things are satisfied. There could be very few people, or maybe you'll just spend your college life alone. That's just better than rather than just being a part of something that you don't really think is your personality. So this is one, that the place of authority is empty in your life. Hence, you fit into situations wherever you can find space. Okay. So whenever a person will enter into your life, if you are in victimhood and a person is entering your life, whether it is a new friend, it is a person whose personality is little more stronger than you will always feel oppressed by that person. You will always feel like a victim of that person's nature if the place of authority is empty in your life. Now, this majorly happens when you have an absent father. This is something that is based upon psychology. Absent father, or emotionally absent father, emotionally not so valuable father, or the authority figures in your life not actually taking care of the needs that you wanted to be taken care of. So now what you have done is that internally you feel like a victim, and you just play out that role whole in the world. Now here I'm not asking you to blame anybody, that because of you I am feeling like that. You'll again step into victimhood. You just start with the intention that I want to take charge of my life, and I want to be having the freedom to do things that really matter to me, that really align with me. The moment you set this intention and you say that I am responsible for my happiness, for my suffering, for my success, for my failures, when you say this out loud in your heart, the space of that authority is filled up. It is filled up by you. And if you're still very very scared to do that, it can be a thing. You can start with placing the authority, like if you believe in God, if you have teachers, like you have your guru, anybody, that person can take up that authority. But we have to say that it is somebody who does not end up hurting you. It either has to be you or something abstract like God that you believe in, right? So when you do this, you start developing self dependence. And I think people who are in victimhood, they either play out in the world like a victim, or they play out in the world like a super hyper independent person. And उनको देख के कभी लगता नहीं है कि internally they are feeling like a victim. But yeah, sometimes behind very very hyper independent people there is also a lot of victimhood. So recognizing that the position of authority in my life is empty and I need to take charge of my life, and I want to take charge of my life. I want to live life and create experiences for myself that I really love. So this intention one puts you there. Second is that whatever are your needs, learn to how you can fulfill them for yourself. Now, this is not becoming like hyper independent, but for example, if you have a need to be understood, start understanding yourself. If you have a need to be loved, acknowledge that need and start loving yourself. If you have a need to be respected, see where you are not where you are disrespecting yourself. And when you start giving this to yourself, you see that people who are vibrationally like you start surrounding yourself by them. Otherwise, if you are like a victim, you will attract authorities in your life who oppress you. If you are a person who is always in the authority, always wants to be in control, always wants things to happen their way, you will attract people who are like victims, who keep crying, who say that you are a very bad person. So this dynamic goes on and on and on, unless and until you start taking charge of the experience of your life. And this is a very very peaceful way to live. So in the now coming to the next part of the video, that for example, let's say there is somebody like an authority who sorts of oppresses you, like this person says nasty things about you, disrespects you, and their body language also you feel is very very dominating. So the thing is that see that what you can say in these particular situation. So it starts with setting boundaries, saying that I don't want to be talked like this. If some people are using certain abusive words, or some people are saying being very very loud to you, due to which you just shut down, due to which you don't know what to say in that particular situation, you can just say that if you want me to continue this conversation, then you have to lower your voice. And if the person does not lower their voice, you need to walk away from that situation. Because boundaries is not just setting boundaries, saying that oh this is the boundary. Boundaries is actually acting upon that boundaries, करके दिखाना पड़ता है that if you're not lowering your voice, I just cannot have this conversation. Because there are so many people in this world who cannot have the conversation properly if you have started shouting and all of that. And this is backed by brain science. Like when I learned brain design, I understood that there is a lobe which gets so triggered by this kind of sounds and this kind of things. So that time it becomes very very difficult. Second is also your body language. The moment somebody starts shouting and all of that, just become aware of your body, and you'll see that your body is drowning. You want to close, you want to shut down. You just in that moment you need to stand still and have your shoulders erect and embody the strength that you really want in yourself. Now if there is a lot of trauma playing in your life in the background, this theoretical information is not enough. You have to start to heal by doing a lot of inner work, by learning more about yourself, by understanding yourself, and that is the only time when you will be able to take charge of your life. Now people always say that oh ye to aisa hi hai, and then they compromise themselves, and emotionally they think that they are the saviors of everybody, wo sabko samajh lenge, and they keep sacrificing themselves. So such people have to understand that your nervous system is something that you need to work on. That means you need to learn how to regulate your nervous system, and for after that is done, you will not feel like shutting down when a person starts shouting. You will be able to take a better control of that situation, a better charge in that situation, not off over the complete situation, but at least the charge of yourself, that how do you deal with such stuff. So when I usually talk to people, I see that even if I'm talking to adults like above the age of 30, they still have the fear of being punished by their parents. They still have the fear of being punished by life. And वो जो एक खाली जगह रह जाती है ना अथॉरिटी के, बाद में बहुत लोग आके वो जगह ले लेते हैं. एंड ये जो फियर ऑफ बीइंग पनिश्ड है, ये फियर ऑफ बीइंग थ्रोन आउट ऑफ द ग्रुप है, ऑल ऑफ दीज फियर्स दे स्टिल स्टे. Okay, so we feel कि हम बड़े हो गए हैं and time heals everything and all of those things. I am not, at least I'm not able to see that when I'm coaching people. You actively need to do your inner work, and if you need any help in that, you can always book a call by using the link in the bio. I will make a part 2 definitely of this video, talking more about that. If there are people who are this dominating and controlling, how can you deal with them better? Stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you like what you see.